All right. I would love to say thank you to everyone who has joined today, no matter where you are, morning, afternoon, or evening. Welcome to the VesuvITas Verified podcast video series. I am your host, Sebastian Anthony Corrieri. I am the Chief Contact Center and CX Strategist for VesuvITas. At VesuvITas, we listen, lead, and design optimized customer experiences. And for those of you who are new here today, just to let you know a little bit of background, our passion around customer experience technologies leads us to have the opportunity to interview emerging customer experience thought leaders like we have on the show today. So without any further delay, I would love to welcome Ashish Nagar from Level AI. Welcome, Ashish.
Nice to be with you, Sebastian. Looking forward to our conversation.
Yes, a pleasure is absolutely mine. I just wanted to say that it's always a delight to speak with you. And I'm excited about not only sharing some of the things that I've learned about you and your company with our audience, but also learning some more myself. This is a selfish thing. I get to sometimes learn from emerging CX thought leaders. So thank you for taking the time today. All right.
Appreciate it.
So, Ashish, tell me a little bit about your current role at Level AI and how that all got started.
Yeah. So again, thanks for having me, Sebastian. Currently I'm the CEO of Level AI. I started the company almost 4 years ago now, and the start story is very interesting. Before starting Level AI, I was a product leader in Amazon's Alexa team, and so if you or your audience
Amazon
have any
Alexa. Okay, cool.
Alexa, yeah, if they have any questions about my Alexa is not working as expected, they know who to reach. Or I also take troubleshooting questions for Google Assistant and Siri, or you know. But that aside, I was a product leader in Amazon's Alexa team, and I was looking at from a big tech vantage point what was happening, what we were doing at Amazon, or what we were doing at my friends were doing at Google, for example, and so on, right? In terms of AI technology development. And it was quite clear to me that, hey, these large tech companies were building underlying AI capabilities, but they were not being used by our customers, like end enterprises or end customers. They were being used by you and me in our homes, but building end to end workflows within the enterprise using the latest technology was not happening. And so I left Amazon and started this business. We looked at the customer service opportunity because, as you and I well know, uh, customer service is the window for every brand in the world with the end customer. By definition, we associate the top brands in the world by best customer experience and best customer service, by great CSAT scores, by happy customers. And from AI innovators perspective, it is also big because customer service is the biggest store of unstructured data within the enterprise. By unstructured data, which I mean is voice recordings, email, chat, customer feedback, and so on. So it's a rich, fertile soil for AI innovation. And when I started Level
So,
AI, we looked at existing solutions and we didn't find much, which was latest generation. So that's how I started it. Sorry for the long answer. Yeah.
no, it's good. I just for the people who may not know about Level AI, uh, help me summarize what Level AI does. Right? It
Yeah.
is both the customer side and the agent leg of the conversations. You are
Mhm.
capturing that information and you are processing it with AI machine learning, and you are
Mhm.
offering services on top of that. Is that fair? I mean, add some more to it.
Exactly. So yeah, we are a customer service um, or customer service intelligence platform. We have four key products. One is an automated quality management solution. The second is a customer intelligence solution, a customer analytics solution. The third is a screen monitoring, a screen recording and automation solution. And fourth is a real-time agent assist solution. But if I step back from those four products, it's exactly what you said, Sebastian. It's an intelligence layer on top of customer and agent data in real time and post interaction. We are omni-channel, so we work on call, email, and chat, but it's an intelligence layer to improve the quality of the agents, to improve the quality of the customer experience, both in real time and post call, and to most importantly, sometimes derive insights for the C suite, for the sales leader, for the CEO, for the product leader of what can I do to improve my customer experience. It could just be service improvement, it could be product improvement, it could be like operations improvement, because that's key. So those are our offerings. Yeah.
That's very good. And so when we're talking about operations improvements, one of the
Mhm.
things that you mentioned, obviously, I think all four of those elements, but we'll just focus on one for a moment. Uh, Quality management, right? Obviously, within contact centers today, the real gap is being able to listen to all these recordings and understand, are they adhering to the policies and processes of an organization. And the thing that is a gap is maybe they can listen to, 1, 2, 3%, maybe 4% if they're on the super
Yeah.
high end, but you have to throw bodies at that. And that's
Yeah.
the biggest cost in the contact center, is all of the overhead from personnel. So how does Level AI mitigate that gap
Mhm.
of 97% of calls that don't get listened
Yeah.
to?
That's such a great point. And so, exactly. So, we provide an automation around it. So, the AI automatically reviews 100% of these conversations and is able to identify quality gaps, compliance gaps, sales performance gaps, etiquette gaps, you name it, right? And I would go a step further. So, that kind of automated QM solution is available by a couple, is starting to get more and more available. But one of the key problems, Sebastian, and you are an expert in the space, and your users will appreciate this more. There are two key issues with these kind of automated solutions. One is it takes a lot of time to set up this automated QM and conversation analytics solutions. You almost need an inside team of a few people to train the AI, right? That's one problem. And the
Right.
second problem, even after training and tinkering and setting up these long libraries of what to listen for, the accuracy and the trust in data is low. So with our proprietary approach, we are targeting both those problems. So not
Mm.
just that you have 100% quality review or analytics review, but you don't need a lot of overhead to maintain the tool, to train the tool, and even with very minimal effort on your side or on the side of your customer, the quality of the data is sometimes 100x better than what is available from legacy solutions. And that's why we really started the business, because some of the legacy solutions have been around for 20 years. We are a 10 to 100x improvement over them. That's why customers are sort of, and that's what we need, for the space.
So we're saying that's a pretty bold statement. How can you make a
Yeah.
100x improvement statement? How can you
Yeah.
back that up?
How can I make that up? Exactly. So, and we share that with our customers, and that is where the proof is of the pudding. So, I'll tell you how. Right? There are. I'll give you a very so I'll give you a very simple sort of line of reasoning there. What happens with current systems? They are text mining based, or keyword lookup based. So all of us, when you're looking through a document, we do Control F, right? Sometimes on an, if you're a Mac user, Command F, or sometimes. That's how current systems work.
Right.
They, let's say, look for the word cancel or want to cancel or whatever for a
Mm.
cancellation scenario. That system
So more word
is not machine
spotting.
learning. Word spotting, text spotting, right?
Right.
Level AI system is based on machine learning to be able to understand what customer is looking for cancellation as a scenario, and let me find all language variations of it, irrespective of what what was told to me before. And it turns out that it picks up
So
100x amount of
so
variation.
sentiment. So sentiment with context and
Exactly.
ultimately intent. You are able to
Exactly.
extract.
You put that much better than me.
That's
Sentiment with
excellent.
context and ultimately intent. And intent, Sebastian, that's such an interesting point. You can use the words, I don't want this anymore, right? For cancellation.
Hmm.
I or I love this product. Why would I not want this anymore? Right? Not want this anymore exists in both those sentences, right? But what both have
Right.
different intents. That is where the current systems just mess up, and our customers have been struggling that for decades, and that's where the underlying data comes in. And once you and this is so important for automated QM solutions, because imagine you have a team of hundreds of agents, your customers have those teams, and if you grade them incorrectly using AI, and then suddenly they don't trust the system at all, and you throw the tool out of the window. That's why data accuracy is
Mm.
so important. Mhm.
100%.
Yeah.
And you have proprietary data models and the way that you train your data, which makes your product unique at Level AI.
Mhm. Mhm.
So, talk to me a little bit about some of the other products and services that you have. You mentioned we talked about automated QM. We'll save
Mhm.
real time agent assist for
Mhm.
later. You
Mhm.
mentioned call recording and screen recording. Did I hear that correct?
Yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So
So,
we often
what are you
go ahead,
doing
Sebastian.
beyond the call in screen recording? How are those being worked together from your overall product? Are you going to be able to figure out what's going on based on their screens utilization at some point? Is that or
Exactly.
are you using that right
Exactly.
now?
So, we like to think from first principles in solving these problems, right? Like until now, we had ears until we launched a screen recording or now we have eyes as well. So, when an agent is on hold and looking through all this ocean of information within the enterprise, with screen recording, we are able to capture how they're spending their time, uh, which areas of the workflow are they struggling with, and using latest computer vision techniques, we think the future is being able to analyze time spent, activity by apps and so on, again to give the learning and coaching teams and the customer service teams more insight on how to train and better support. Our solution is completely privacy controlled. We have the highest sort of privacy and security standards, right, when recording the screen. But the vision is to give a complete view to the contact center leaders on improving performance.
So I didn't realize you were recording screens as a part of your offering. So that's very fascinating. And actually, would you say that you're then kind of leaning in towards DPA or desktop processing analytics as well, where you have a breakdown of the applications that are being used and utilization and all that as well?
You are looking, yeah, that's definitely we that's definitely an area which has triggered our imagination, I would say. And not announcing anything there yet, but like that has definitely triggered our imagination. And it's important, right, because we want, again, solving from first principles, what can help the contact center leader train and coach or support their agents better. And if the answer is yes, we will,
Right.
like, that's the vision we are aligning on. Because the plain screen recording has been around again for 20 years, and it's kind of
Mhm.
solved problem. But that's not why we got into it. Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
so let's talk about one of your additional products. You mentioned there was four products. I'm missing one of them, and then you also said real-time agent assist.
And
What was the third
the
product?
the customer intelligence, the conversation
Okay,
analytics part, right? Yeah.
okay.
So that is a huge one. That's a huge one, Sebastian. I'm sure Happy to talk about that. So if I'm sure in the typical world, in when you and I talk to customers, it's often we're talking to the VP of contact center, and they are looking for deep insights on how my agents and teams are doing. You know, but
Mm,
as soon as you go to the CEO or the VP of sales, the VP of compliance or the director of compliance, and so on, they're also looking for, they're pinging the contact center team. What can you tell me about the customer? How did my most recent launch go? We launched a new pricing. How's that resonating with our customers? Or a new marketing campaign for the CMO. How is that resonating for the customers? So this is our ability to deep, dive deep into the customer intent using the
mm.
same semantic intelligence technology which powers our AQM engine to give real time and non real time insights on what's driving customer contact, where are the pain points, where are agent opportunities to improve agent experience, and I kid you not, like every time the conversation goes to this direction, like after the first 15 minutes or so. Yeah, in
Wow.
every customer conversation. Yeah.
So help me understand this and also our audience understand this better.
Uh,
You are analyzing, let's say, for a period of time, right? Maybe the launch you explained a minute ago. You're looking at all those calls, you're looking at the intent, maybe you're getting some level of customer satisfaction and feedback on each of those interactions. And you're basically processing this data and looking for trends, and you can provide, I guess, some kind of a dashboard or a report to frontline
exactly.
managers to kind of give an indication as to what went well, what didn't go well, what they should probably lean into versus stay away from.
Exactly, exactly. And then that's exactly right. And that uh, one, one of the other, to your point, you mentioned, which is such a great example, CSAT, right? So we don't have a CSAT offering, but the ability to pull in CSAT. So we pull in, we are an intelligence platform. So we are pulling in data from CSAT provider, from the CRM, from the UCAS, CCAS provider. So this is a great example where if CSAT, this is a favorite question which we get. Hey, can you do some quick analytics to show me how does my CSAT correlate with customer sentiment, which your conversation intelligence is picking up? And then next step, how does my CSAT correlate with customer sentiment for a certain product line, you know, or for a certain service or business area? Let's say you're a financial services customer, you have a credit card product, mortgage product, a debit card product. What is my debit card CSAT and sentiment correlation? And that we are uniquely able to do because we are doing the conversation intelligence. We have the CSAT, we have the sentiment score, and it's a really insightful bit. And what we are replacing in that case is, I used to be a management consultant back in the day. Companies send out surveys,
Mm-hmm.
hey, we will hire this expensive agency to conduct survey of our customers. We have 100 million customers, we will survey 100, you know and get data. But for with level AI, you can hear from all 100 million customers who are calling you and analyze it.
So, I mean, I'm probably, hopefully, I don't get you into trouble right now, or keep on talking about things that I would love to see you develop. Right? Think I might have gotten in trouble on DPA, but don't worry, this will be coming out later.
Yes.
But when we're talking about CSAT, I mean, you're already getting sentiment. You're not that far off if you wanted to do a real time CSAT representation. Am I off on that? What do you think?
Yeah, no, that's exactly right. Like, that, and the other request which we get often from customers is, and you talked in the beginning, Sebastian, about the future of customer service with AI, right? One of the
Right.
questions for us, and this is an interesting question for everybody in this space, can we do a predictive CSAT, which is like, if because someone fills in, less than 5% of customers fill the CSAT form, how about the other 95%? Can the AI give a predictive CSAT score of what should be the most likely, what is the CSAT for this person?
Mm.
So those are all areas where like which are exciting to think about, and but
That's
for now we're
exciting.
not doing
No, it's
that.
good. It's good. I mean, there's so much conversation, and I'm glad that it's happening. It's becoming more and more prevalent. These conversations around AI, machine learning, and you have uh, thought leaders in various capacities, like Elon Musk talking about. What does he have? Neuralink and the different ways that we can leverage AI. We have
Mhm.
other conversations happening in the marketplace with, OpenAI and Chat GPT and GPT-3 and all this stuff. Um, I realized I was going to ask some of those questions later, but it makes sense to kind of dive into it now just for a moment. Then we'll go back. Why does a company uh, why should an end customer use a level AI, let's say, for
Mhm.
business communications rather than trying to open source, that AI and machine learning through their large language models, let's say.
Yeah, so that's a great point, Sebastian. Well, so I want to make sure I understand your question correctly. I think you're thinking why use level AI versus let's say a Google or OpenAI system
Hmm.
or one of the yeah, and that's a great point, and I think that's the $1 million question. The couple of things, what these services are doing. So there are two ways to consume this. You can call a service via an API, like OpenAI has an API now, where you can, for example, do some simple things like send a conversation. They give you sentiment back, right, of a conversation, right? Now, but it's a question answering system, right? The problem is you can't control it, right? Like if it's a financial services vendor versus customer versus a telecom customer, they can't control how um, their customers talk about their products versus somebody else. So that's one problem. And OpenAI unfortunately is not really open
Hmm.
because they're only giving APIs. So that's one problem. The second problem is even if they give you the underlying language models, you need a team of AI scientists and data engineers and to be able to innovate or build on top of it, and and which is where level AI comes in. Um, we deeply understand these technologies. We have been building on this for many years, and we partner with companies to bring this technology to the enterprise. And that's kind of like the central
Hmm.
thesis of why I started the company, because Google, OpenAI, Facebook, Amazon are not building end solutions to give you an API, and that's not something which
Right.
can be put in an enterprise workflow.
They're
Um,
more like Lego sets, kind of to a degree.
exactly. And the last thing I would say there, which is kind of slightly detailed, but the accuracy, even if let's say you call the OpenAI API for sentiment detection, and you don't, the accuracy of that output is sometimes 5 to 10%, even 20% lower than an AI which is trained for the enterprise, which is AI which is trained for the financial services space
Mm.
or for their customer. So that's the other problem. Yeah.
And so back and so back to level AI specifically, then your company has been training your systems in very specific business industry verticals and understanding very specific voice contact center, customer service,
Exactly.
sales interactions. And it understands specifically how to respond and what to do in those environments. So we are
Exactly.
talking about two very, very different technologies. So this is a perfect dovetail. Then talk to us about your real-time interaction or agent assist technologies.
Mhm.
How tell us a little bit about that, some of the tools that are available for businesses who may have a contact center today.
Yeah. So we have a real-time agent assist product, and we recently last week we launched Agent GPT, which I'm happy to talk about more. It's part of our
Yes, let's talk about
it's,
that.
yeah, it's kind of our agent augmentation experience. So maybe talk about agent assist quickly. So now again, there the problem is, Sebastian. So the concept is very well known, right? Everyone talks about this idea that, hey, in real time, being able to help an agent perform better, show them knowledge, next best action, like do a checklist, show real time transcriptions, and so on. The challenge, the devil is in the detail. What are you understanding uh, based on what the customer said or the agent said? A lot of these systems are based on keyword detection again, which is somebody said, I want to cancel my account. They show you a support article linked to cancellation. The person could really be saying, as I told you before, I would never cancel my account. I love this thing. I'll still show you the cancellation article, right? Because it picked that cancellation keyword. So the problem is how you are understanding the underlying human language, So in our Agent Assist product, we did a
Hmm.
lot of innovation 2 years ago on making the language understanding much better, augmenting it with real-time knowledge, next best action. And we offer that in omni-channel, email, chat, and phone calls. Um, Last week we launched Agent
Now, you
GPT.
have to,
Yeah, I'll pause there. Yeah.
bef- before you jump into GPT, so you are having to uh, basically use different analytics on a
Mhm.
voice call versus a chat and an email conversation, or are you
Right.
using similar? Right. So talk to us about that. There's a difference, right?
That's such a good point. Yeah, that's such a good point, Sebastian. So omni-channel is huge, right? So we were omni-channel from day one. And to your point, you're exactly right. You have to have different AI models for email versus chat versus phone call. When we chat on text, shorter sentences, sometimes
Right.
emojis, sometimes short form words. When we
Right.
write emails, it's paragraphs, and phone calls are completely different, right? So the AI models for all
Right.
three are different, and we have specialized pipeline for each one of them. So Agent Assist for phone calls versus email is completely different UI, engagement patterns, and so on. And exactly. So and we do that, and both for Agent Assist and for analytics. So the customer intelligence use case, which I talked about, there as well, we can run your analytics on email, chat, and phone call, all three on level AI. Yeah.
Mm, that's so good.
Yeah.
Now, just to kind of differentiate level AI from some of the different solutions that may be in the space,
Mhm.
some of the AI, voice AI providers are focused exclusively on the customer leg of the conversation. And there are
Mhm.
some, voice AI providers that are focused on just the agent leg of the conversation.
Mhm.
But your company, Level AI, can look at both sides of the conversation, whether agent or
Mhm.
customer. Do you have different models for each of those, or walk us through that just a little bit?
Yeah, that's a great point. So yes, so we can look at both, and we can detect automatically which one is the customer, which one is the agent, and both at the speech layer and at the text layer. And yeah, and we process intent differently based on that, because again, um, I would like to cancel the account is a customer utterance, and I would be happy to help you with your cancellation. Or why are you looking to cancel your account is an agent intent. In the second case, it doesn't mean cancellation, it's just mean question answering. So,
Right.
and that is where the nuance comes in. So we are happy we can handle both. Yeah.
That's great. So you're a one-stop shop when it comes to both legs of the conversation.
Yeah.
That's good to
On
know.
that on that point, Sebastian, the one-stop shop bit, right? I think that is a growing trend which we see when we talk to customers
Mm,
and partners like you, when they're doing these transformation projects or these, right? Like the customers are not looking to work with one vendor for real-time agent assist and another vendor for analytics and another vendor for QA, right? Ideally, they want to Everyone is saving money in this environment. Everyone is consolidating, and they also want one customer success person to call, one salesperson to call, and
Right.
because of and that's why we sort of focused on building this set of products. And the last thing on that one stop shop being, as I mentioned, the underlying semantic intelligence layer is consistent. Because if you don't understand it, the intent properly, neither the agent assist will work, nor the analytics will work, nor the QA will work. Right.
Hmm.
So that's how it all sort of ties in. And we want to become that one stop, shop for the customer service leader. Yeah.
Mm. So this is, I know your time is at a premium, so we're probably going to be wrapping up here in a little bit, but I'm really excited that you were able to join us today. Um, is there anything about the, you know, your industry specifically that that you're excited about, trending that you see that you may be able to kind of step into some of that with level AI into the near future?
Yeah, no, that's exact. Um, so I mentioned Agent GPT, which we launched last week, right? And that's an
Oh, we
example.
need to
That's a
dive
like,
into that. Yeah.
yeah, I think that's exactly what your question, and that's what we are excited about a lot. So why do I say that? So in our space, as I mentioned, I started off with customer service is the largest store of unstructured data within the enterprise, right? All this is an ocean of information. Now,
Hmm.
with the latest set of technologies here, like ChatGPT and these large language models, um, we have an incredible ability to both sort of marry knowledge search with language understanding. And and what that means is that you can have a very simple question answering system like ChatGPT. You can ask it anything. Now, without companies like Level AI, it does not translate to the enterprise. That's why we built Agent GPT, and we've been working on this even before ChatGPT was announced. And that's the
So
future of
explain
yeah,
what Agent GPT is and what it
yeah,
does and the practical functionality for the uninitiated.
exactly. So very simply, what it does is your any agent can query it, chat with it to ask any question which a customer is asking her. So it's like, imagine it as we call it omniscient AI, or like some, and like your super expert at
Hmm.
your beck and call, at an agent's beck and call, uh, all the time. And the
Okay.
way it knows everything about your enterprise is that we are learning from every support article, every bit of knowledge, every conversation to in the background. So it's
So
it's it's super
you're
expert AI.
you're consuming voice calls, you're
Mhm,
consuming knowledge bases, FAQs, knowledge
mhm.
management tools, uh,
Yeah.
information documents, everything,
Mhm.
and it's getting better. It's learning, and it's essentially an expert at the fingertips of the agent.
Exactly. And the power is, even if a solution does not exist, that's the power of these generative technologies. It writes the solution on the fly for this query. It has all the other information, and we have built that complete system. So we
That's
disrupt
very
knowledge
powerful.
management, question answering, agent training. Agent customer service teams have 100% churn sometimes. I've heard stories of
Mm.
200% churn. So now imagine a new agent comes in that environment. They have Agent GPT from day one. They're like, I know everything because I have this guy by me, or this gal by me, Agent GPT. You know, I can ask her anything.
I can almost hear audience members asking, okay, in what scenarios would someone use an AI or a real time agent assist trigger to bring up something versus going to Agent GPT to retrieve information?
Yeah. That's a great question. It's like where so it depends, the to be honest, we are figuring that out as well, Sebastian. Like, we are working with our
Yeah, it's
customers right
going
now.
to be
This
business
stuff is,
specific.
yeah, it could be business specific, and also like like e-commerce business has some different behavior than a technology business, which gets a lot of troubleshooting questions, for example. But in terms of where
Hmm.
the future is, I think the future is some sort of like a combination of it. But I think it's really exciting, especially because enterprises spend so much money and time on knowledge management, training, coaching, serving it, and we can short circuit all of that. We or not short circuit, like thread through all of that to provide one simple solution. Yeah.
Yeah, so really powerful. I like where you're going. I like what you've already been able to achieve. And I'm excited about the future of Level AI and what that's going to be able to bring to contact centers. And so I really am grateful for you jumping into and creating this organization, your background. Thank you for taking the time to come meet with us today, Ashish. I'll give you the final words today. Is there anything that you would like to share related to technology predictions for this year?
Oh man, like this is where I would say, there are very few times, Sebastian. So one of the things which happens in our space, in the contact center space, there's a lot of noise. AI in the contact center, if you
Yeah.
go on Google, there's a lot of noise around it, right? Like, but there are very few times where the excitement and the technology progress and the customer use cases all align. You know, we are living in that time right now where there
Mm.
is real excitement, but there is underlying technology improvement, rapid technology improvement, and customers are hungry for that. So I don't have a technology prediction, but I do have a prediction that over the next 1 or 2 years, the customer service stack will look very different, and the innovators in this space will, will start separating themselves. When I say innovators, I mean customers. Brands which are adopt some of these technologies
Right.
will start separating themselves from the laggards, you know on and because of the rapid change which is happening right now. So I would highly challenge your
Yes.
users, almost, right, to lean in, understand what's going on, and build a strategy with partners like VesuvITas to plan their change journey, because it's really happening rapidly. Like in the AI space, I was listening to
Yes.
technology
It's
leaders, professors lecture. They're updating their slides every few weeks, because the new models are coming out. So from a
yeah.
business leader's lean in, yeah.
Yeah. Well, Ashish, Nagar has been our guest today. Thank you, Ashish Nagar from Level AI, for joining us today on VesuvITas Verified. I'm your host, Sebastian Anthony Corrieri. At VesuvITas, we are changing the world one extraordinary customer experience at a time. Ashish Nagar, thank you so much for being on the show today and for leading the charge into these emerging CX technologies. Thank you.
Nice to be here. Thank you.